Man, Saturday, great night of boxing. A lot of people didn't get the victories they thought they were going to get. Um, Reagan Diao, he lost. Looks as if his time in the sport might be over. Um, yeah, Josh Taylor, he lost. They gave him the victory, but he lost as well. And him versus Terrence Crawford, hey, good luck trying to promote that fight if that happens. And we have Colbert. Colbert who went up against Garcia. I guess he used to be an Olympian from the Dominican Republic. He was supposed to fight Gutierrez for the WBA championships, but he got the 19, so he had to bow out of that particular fight. They got a replacement against Garcia. I believe he's undefeated also. And for whatever reason, Colbert thought this was going to be just a nice, easy, win. It's going to be something that's going to be just, fly in the pants type of thing. We can go in there. I don't know why. For some weird reason, I guess he got like one knockout and all of a sudden he thinks he's a knockout artist. And he came in here trying to basically get the knockout. He's sitting up there getting hit with shots. He's going into the corner. He's covering his face, just kind of prodding forward. And he's getting some shots off. He's catching this guy, clean in the face, catching him a little bit to the body, but he's catching him clean to the face. But the guy's not faced. Colbert's not, you understand he got a couple of knockouts, but he's not a knockout artist. And he's somebody that needs to continue to progress and continue to get better. He's out, in the locker room. He's laughing. He's just relaxing. I'm like, I'm looking at this guy. I'm like, you probably should be getting focused mentally for this fight. And you go look at the other locker room. Garcia's focused. He's sitting there. He's boxing. He's moving. His mind is all set, for this bout. And they get into the ring. Some fighters, I don't know what it is, but they start feeling themselves. They start believing that they're just so superior to other people and they're so great. And they don't necessarily put in the work. They don't necessarily come in mentally prepared in the way that they should be prepared. They just, for whatever reason, they don't do it. And then someone like this comes along, and this is what usually gets people. Is usually that guy that no one's, thinking is going to do anything. And like in a Taylor fight, it's a guy who people don't think is going to do anything, and they end up being your toughest bout, where you usually end up taking a loss. Like when it came to Andy Ruiz versus Anthony Joshua, same type of thing. All of a sudden you take, those are the fights that people usually lose. They usually, when it comes to the top tier guys, the best, what's perceived to be the top tier guys, people are usually focused. People are usually ready, But then when a situation like this comes along, they don't know what to do. That's why you got to commend and respect somebody like a Floyd Mayweather. Because like when he came up with someone like Maidana, that's that type of situation where people don't necessarily expect, all this to happen. But when it did happen, when he got caught up in that situation, he was ready. He had trained for it. He put the work in mentally and physically. So he was able to grind through it and come out with the victory. He was able to do that. Some people thought the Miguel Cotto fight was going to be all easy, but it ended up not being necessarily that. He won most of the rounds, but it was a tough, gritty fight. But he was able to do it because he's prepared and he's ready for something like that. He treats everybody like, hey, he understands this could be the night where this guy that I don't think is anything, all of a sudden is giving me more than, I've ever been giving in my whole entire life. And Colbert, for whatever reason, didn't understand that. And he's trying to hit this guy with shots. The guy's just walking through him. He's not fazed by it. He doesn't care about your little, who you are. He doesn't care about the hype that's behind you. He doesn't care that you're the main headliner and people are focused on you. He didn't care about none of that. It's just a hungry dude that's ready to bang, that's ready to grind it out, and that's not going anywhere. And when it got to the point where this guy wasn't going anywhere, he didn't know what to do. He didn't know what to do. And this guy just kept coming and coming and coming, kept catching him to the body, hitting him up top two, putting the pressure on him, and just wasn't fazed by anything Colbert brought to him. And he just, from that point on, he just didn't have that plan B. There was nothing else he could do. He started getting tired. He ended up getting dropped. Now it's like, what are you going to do? A couple more rounds, taking a couple more, a couple of L's more as it pertains to the rounds. Now, what are you going to do? Now we got to see what you're really about now. Now you got to dig in. You got to find something inside of you, that can help you get through this situation that you're in. And you know what? He didn't have it, you know? And it's crazy to me that someone like this, you have the nerve to talk bad about Deontay Wilder. Someone that consistently takes on guys that are 30, 40, 50, 60 pounds bigger than him and still finds ways to come out victorious. You had the nerve to talk about him basically taking on one of the best boxers in the world in Tyson Fury. And because that's a style and a matchup that's difficult for him. Like I always used to say, the two styles that are the worst things for him, his Achilles heels, are Tyson Fury and Luis Ortiz. Those are the styles. Everybody else, easy work. Those are the two styles that are going to give him problems. He was able to figure one out. The other one, he wasn't able to figure out. You know, he came close to winning, becoming victorious in a third fight, but it didn't work out for him. But one thing we do know, he didn't cower away. He didn't fight scared. You know, he didn't just try to survive. He went in there trying to win. And he left everything on that floor. He left everything in that ring. He always talks about how he's gonna, you know, he'll lay down on his shield in a fight. And that's exactly what he did. You know, he did everything that was necessary, threw everything in the kitchen sink and did everything that he could to become victorious. Even after breaking his hand, he still kept going with one hand, being exhausted, and still tried everything that he could until his body finally gave out. That's not what Colbert did. That's not what Colbert did. What Colbert decided to do was, hey, I've lost this fight. You know, what I'm going to do in the 12th round is I'm going to run around the ring. I'm going to just make sure I don't take any more damage, you know, and I'm going to get out here in one piece. That's what that man did. All I know is that man right there better never in his life bring up Deontay Wilder's name again. Ever. Because Deontay Wilder ain't losing to no damn, you know, 1 in 18 odds fighter. We know that for sure. A fight against a 118 fighter, it's not going to be close. It's not going to be close. You know? And he's, for the most part, been able to figure out ways, make adjustments, even in a fight like in the Ortiz fight, make adjustments. He found a way to get it done. In the Tyson Fury fight, he did everything. Unfortunately, he broke his hand, but he still did everything that he could to come out victorious in that fight. That's not what we see now to Colbert. You know, we saw a man that got put into a space against someone that didn't care who you were, didn't care where you were from, didn't care what level you're supposedly on. He was coming. And he was doing everything that he could to become victorious and to take that O from you. You know, and put himself into a space where he can fight for a belt. You know? And Colbert had no answers for it. And not only did he not have any answers for it, he dropped his sword, he dropped his shield, and he went away. You know? And as a boxer, I honestly can't see anything worse or worse way to lose than what we saw on Saturday night. In the way that Colbert went out. It was ridiculous. So, but hopefully he learns from this. Hopefully he humbles himself, you know, and hopefully he does the things that are necessary to get him back to the space where he should have been. Because this is a guy who was supposed to be a champion within this year. This is supposed to be this year, the year where he progresses to that next level. But he's feeling himself. He's not training the way he should be training. He's not handling business the way he should be handling it. Humble yourself, keep grinding, keep working, and understand that you have not made it. And once you get to the space where you have made it, you got to work even harder. You didn't see Floyd Mayweather relax after he made it, relax after he got his belt. He stayed grinding. He grinded even harder because he understood that that target is on his back. He understood that, and he understood that people are coming for you. You know, they're watching every single one of your fights, every single one of your moves. So you got to be ready for everyone that's in front of you. And that's something Colbert wasn't. Like, subscribe, share. I'm out.